Welcome back. Like always, we're going to start out with a run-by of the inbound train. We've got 3 drop-offs, one over to Green Mountain Feeds or Blue Seal Feeds, and then 2 boxcars over to the CP Interchange. And then we've got 1 car that's on the storage track right about now that needs to head over to Blue Seal Feeds as well. And you'll see that that's going to be the majority of our switching over there. And then towards the end, after we switch out, I believe it's after we switch out Green Mountain Feeds, we got a couple of pickups over at BlueLinx Construction Supply. So sit tight, we're going to uncouple, run around to the other end, and we'll get this party started. Excuse the slanted plane here. I've got to try a little bit harder to get that a little bit level, or well, some semblance of level. So we're gonna back uphill here for a hot second. Our VTR 431 is here, seen here in red. That was painted per the year before 432 was. And of course I've got the 432 in the Florida East Coast paint scheme, so that kind of locks my layout into a certain time frame of 2016-2017. 431 here was painted red in 2016, or the winter of 2016, and then 432 in the summer of 2017. So that kind of gives a little bit of a time frame there. I've said this before, I do like my locomotives in original paint schemes and patched out units and that sort of thing. It just seems to add a little bit more variety to things visually, and then it also helps give each of the locomotives a certain amount of character. So here we go. We're picking up the Seaboard system boxcar. That and the covered hopper. Those are going to head over to Green Mountain Feeds. But we do have a loaded boxcar that you can see back there at the warehouse. And that boxcar and the now empty covered hopper that are on that spur need to get swapped around, one in front of the other for the outbound train. So we've got loaded cars to the front of the train and then empty cars to the back. So I do try and do that in my operations. It just adds another little bit of a layer of operating, but we'll see that coming up. Right now, we're just going to organize those 2 cars to get over onto track 2, so that they're easily picked and shoved into Green Mountain or Blue Seal feeds. And then we're just going to take these 2 box cars, the Pan Am and the Ontario Northland, over to the CP Interchange. This 6-axle unit, both 431 and 432, they don't do too much switching operations on the VTR. They're mostly reserved for more of like a mainline sort of running between yards and pulling long cuts of cars. They're just simply used for their muscle, or at least that's what it seems like. And then the VTR relegates the 4-axle locomotives more for the switching and grunt work in the yard. But 431 here and 432 are both some of my best operating locomotives. I do have a section of track coming up here that we stall out on every once in a while, but that's a problem with the track and not the locomotive. You can see that I kind of skipped over that section where we stalled out with some creative editing. And then we're just going to back up here, clear the switch, and head into BlueLinx, pick up those cars, and bring them out to track 1 on the runaround. And then we're going to end up switching out Blue Seal. So hang tight. It seems like I have 3 industries on this layout that are most used. There are 6 industries in total, plus a storage track and an interchange track. But of the industries, the 6 industries, this BlueLinx Construction materials industry is one of the most frequented industries on the layout. This and Green Mountain or Blue Seal feeds are rather kind of go-to industries to switch out. And then the third one is, interestingly enough, over here, you can see it in the background, ATI, or American Technologies Incorporated. That's an interesting little industry to switch out. They take just simply boxcars. There's 2 spots, but that's kind of or an industry that if I wanted to do a little bit of challenge, that's one that I'd go for. And then in the foreground, you can see Champlain Fuels now off screen. But that industry ends up requiring getting down onto the interchange track and using that as a lead. And given the fact that I need buffer cars for that one, that's also a pretty difficult industry to change out. The 2 less frequented are the team track, which obviously just takes whatever kind of cars, and that's in the foreground, and then in the background you can see that log loader that's kind of broken down there just above the locomotive right now. That's a utilities company, and we load out box cars, high side gondolas for wood chips, and then flat cars for pole deliveries. And they don't get too much action either. But so yeah, there's the 3 industries: BlueLinx, Blue Seal, and then ATI. Those end up getting most of the attention here on this little layout. But honestly, any one of them will keep your hands full for some time. So here you go. This is what I was talking about. You can see I've pulled out that covered hopper, and I'm back into the industry now, trying to get the boxcar out. And I did it rather than shoving that covered hopper all the way back and grabbing the boxcar. I knew that I wanted the boxcar on the front end of that covered hopper, so I just simply dove back into the industry twice instead of doing one pick. And then this sets us up for the train home. So now what we'll do is we'll pick this, make our connection here, and then shove back, get the inbound cars and shove those into the industry. And then we'll take these 2 cars over from track 2 over to track 1, attached to the cars that I pulled from BlueLinx, and we'll be all done. I do like to keep my movements a little bit more on the prototypical side of things, so you can see that I'm at notch 1 going into this industry. I might need to slow down this locomotive and give it a little bit more momentum, but in this industry, obviously you're going to want to be moving slow in case people are walking around and whatnot. So it does take a little bit longer to switch out the industry. And then, you spend a couple of seconds there as they're uncoupling and moving this car into its next spot. And then, of course, we uncouple there, and then we're good to go. Okay, so let's bring these two cars out to the main line and then shove them back onto track 1 so that we can pick up the center beam and boxcar there. Then we'll put the flag on the end of the boxcar and get us ready to head out back to the yard. And here you can see I finally figured out how to get that camera nice and level for this shot. It's a crying shame about the other one, but hope you'll forgive me. We're all coupled up and we're just going to shove back so that the whole train, including the locomotive, is on the runaround in case there's any traffic going through for whatever reason. We'll make our safety checks, charge the brakes, get our end of train device on, and then make sure that we're in tip-top shape for heading back, and then we'll get out of here. I'd like to thank you for watching. And please do like and subscribe if you're so inclined, and then we'll see you on the next one. I'm not really sure what we're going to be doing, probably some more switching, but if you want to see anything else, just let me know. Maybe I'll do a full layout overview. I haven't done that in a while, and I feel like I've got a little bit better idea of what I'm doing. So I don't know. Tune in next weekend. I look forward to seeing you there, and have yourself a wonderful afternoon, and enjoy the weather. Thanks again.